Okay, so our code is there's actually a lot to it. There's the enemy algorithm, which there's different sections. There's the every tick section. There's the enemy algorithm section. There's the magical wind section. There's the player controls, limitation controls, damage control, the stuff that happens when the game started, the stuff that happens when when each entity dies, the NPC like like events and stuff, and then this should get removed sooner than later, and then anything you can do to like try and cheat the game, like pushing your rock outside of the boundaries, it will like teleport it back to you, including the player. And this is just like, I'm not sure why I labeled it this, but this is like the congratulations scroll, and this is like the citations. Okay, that's the overall structure. But so here a fight is basically every single tick. We gotta update the health bars. We have to, if the debug text is on or off, I hope it should be off. If it's on, you'll see random numbers on the screen. And then, yeah, basically, if the fight is on, it should display you and the monster. If it's not off, you should do you and the. No, I mean, if you're wondering why the Y position of the skull is 2000, so you can't interact with it while you're fighting, that's supposed to be the reward. And notice a lot of my code for enemy algorithm is interlaced. That basically means that like I use the same algorithm and I try to like kind of tweak it to get the most out of it. So technically, the first and second boss fight, well, i.e. stage 1 and stage 3, have nearly identical bosses except for one thing. I mean, actually two things, but one thing is that the up and down movement gets translated to left and right movement instead, so it's easier to defeat. And then also one of them has slightly higher bounds. So for the last one, when the player then learns how to fly with the rock, then they can actually use that. There's a chance the enemy will fly up off of the bottom of the map, so the player would have to fly up to see the enemy. And then basically randomly chooses every couple seconds, picks random number, then changes the direction of the enemy. If it bounces off a wall or a border, then it will automatically flip it. And then the magical wind it's kind of similar mechanism here, except like, so basically just hide or show the right arrow and then move the rock accordingly, left, up, right, down. Nudge it accordingly, depending on the direction of the wind. And then basically every 5 taps, call a randomizer and change it. Next thing is the over-end player controls. You might not think this is necessary, but you'll be surprised because the default controls are not WASD. They are AS space D. So, yeah, that's basically all that is. And then, whenever you jump, play the sound. Mario inspired, and citations below. But yeah, and then the levitation controls seems actually fairly straightforward, except for every third of a second you will if you will have to press something again, or wait, yeah, I think I swear that was longer. I thought it was half a second. Anyway, so yeah, basically you can't hold it forever or else the game would be too easy. So you just keep tapping it. And, that on top of the nudges these, positions give you, create the wind effect, but you can still resist it with enough willpower and effort. Or basically enough spamming the controls. And then damage control. This is basically saying, well, you would think all I would need is like if they're close enough damage, but not quite, because the way this currently works is the entities themselves are both like let's just say the test dummy, for example, they are both platforms and platformers, so it creates weird bugs in the system, so I have to manually wait, is that right? Yeah, either way they create weird bugs in the system because they act as both a, at least, okay, maybe the player, yeah, they're basically moving platforms, so they create weird, technically they're moving platforms in G-developed systems, so it creates a weird physics, so I have to manually account for knockback here. Basically all it says is move it back 30 pixels depending on which direction you were hit. Applies even more damage if you like if you like move it up, hit it from like up because that's harder, and more damage if you hit it like downwards. And then when game started, basically it just says it's reset all the timers, show and hide all the right stuff, and on death is basically, yeah, like basically does a lot of the resetting, and yeah, it helps it like the story kind of like progress, because once the thing is dead, other things like this rely on certain conditions being true, like the enemy is not dead, or like the game character distance is not below 150 pixels, etc. So yeah, you see, and then like if I scroll down, yeah, see, like it will actually, there's only a couple of conditions, I'm not sure what I'm saying. Yeah, anyway, these are all the things that happen on certain things' death. And then yeah, so basically this is the initiating of a fight sequence, and this is also a very similar one. I mean, I copy and pasted certain things because it was easier to code it that way. And then yeah, basically display the NPC text if you're close enough and you're not fighting something. Yeah, and these are all the positions for like trial shoots. It's like, hey, teleport all the way up there, because you have to, you know, fly up. And then yeah, you'll notice I do a couple of times where I set this to like 2000 on the y-axis so that you can't interact with the button while it's like being hidden from you. Yeah, and then these are all just like testing things, so we wouldn't have to go through the same fight over and over and over and over again. And yeah, this is like the anti-out of bounds, like I mentioned earlier, and this is the thing that shows or hides the scroll, and these are my sources. Okay.
Okay, so here I'm going to be explaining how to play this game and how it works. So you go through all of these instructions that the NPC will tell you, and he will tell you how to use the rock to kill all the dummy. And so then you go back to the NPC again, and he'll explain how to do other stuff like kill the monster and defeat them in the first trial. And so you'll be using WASD to move and the arrow keys to move the rock. And so here we are killing the monster, and he's giving us the next instructions for the second trial. And we're going to be using the rock to move to levitate. And yes, it was very difficult for me to move. I did it in the first recording, but it had no audio, so this is just a clip of me struggling to move. And there we go, I made it up. And he'll be saying go higher, and so that means that he wants you to navigate through the high platforms in order to make it past the second trial. And so I struggled a lot with this part. Nathan usually knows how to do this part a little bit more better than me. I'm not really good at these kind of games. So I'll be showing you a recording, but it has no audio of the game sound. But I'll cut to that part right now. Okay, so I am currently going up that second part. I didn't struggle as much on this one, but my Mac couldn't record the audio, so this is just me going through the second trial. So there is a magical wind current that will deflect your rock a little bit, so it will make it a little bit more difficult for you to get up. So right here, I made it to the next part. There isn't much audio, there isn't any audio recording, but it's kind of the same as the first monster. There will be a kind of like a little attack music going on out there, and kind of the same as the first monster, you need to kill it with the rock, but this time you will be using both the like levitating yourself plus using the rock to kill the monster. And when we finish the third trial, you'll see a scroll and it shows that you've entered the guild. And so it's pretty easy to follow, and yeah, that's it.